whole point of my talk show is to show you that even with having a learning disability, I can still amount to something. And at the same time, I'm able to turn myself into an example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities to never give up and prove people wrong. Prove to them that labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be, so prove them and still amount to something. Welcome to the KeithAndrewNetwork. I am your host, Keith Andrew. Along here is the talented and beautiful Marissa Mendelson. I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's an honor.
Yeah, the honor is all mine. Looking forward to the interview and having you as a friend. And for people who want to know what my talk show is about, the whole point of my talk show is to show people that even with having a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there dealing with any types of learning disabilities and disabilities. But you should never give up. You should prove people wrong. And it's about labels do not dictate who you are and who you're going to be. And you should prove to them you can break the labels. So never give up and prove people wrong and break their labels. So that being said, that's a half hour, 45 minutes of your time. Say anything you want to talk about, anything you want to curse if you want to. And it's whatever you want to feel comfortable doing. And so starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that you have an absolutely beautiful message, and I'm glad that you're sharing your message with people, and I hope that more people hear it. And it's just again an honor to be a part of your show. So thank you, and I'm glad you're doing this.
No, absolutely. Now, I'm going to ask you some easy questions, then we're going to ask you some hard-hitting ones, then we can take a commercial break, and then if that would be a perfect time to just do like a Periscope thing. But, Periscope, for me, I feel like I talk to myself, and I try to avoid that. In case I get like maybe 3 or 4 people, but it's, I don't know, I think my talk show, doing the episodes, should get more people hooked than just sitting there and just rambling on. That's just me. But, me and Periscope don't always get along. I'm more of a Twitter person. But I'm going to ask you the easy questions, hard-hitting ones, and we're just basically having a normal conversation. But one thing I do want to point out is I do like the idea how you have the couches in the background outside. That's really nice.
Yeah, that's a couch that used to be inside. So this is now my outdoor couch. Why not? Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, how do you keep the bugs off it?
I don't. It's not the most sanitary couch, but luckily it can be wiped down and Swiffered and whatnot. So, it's not a cloth couch, so I can Windex it.
So it's very durable.
Yes. But speaking of Periscope, for people who do want to live stream, there are little steps you can take to, I think, help get more viewers. The title of your broadcast, for example, is really important. You want to make sure you have a very catchy title, and also, share that broadcast to Twitter as well. And it's important to use hashtags in your title. And use hashtags that are searchable, because SEO, search engine optimization, is very important. So you want to use, words in your title that people are likely to search for on the internet. And when you're live streaming, the difference between live streaming and a regular YouTube video, for example, is that people want to interact with the broadcaster. So you want to actually speak to people and address their comments and address the comments by username. People love that. So interactivity really is key to things like Periscope and other live streaming sites. So I think that broadcasters who are good at interacting with the people who are commenting are really the ones who tend to do best.
No, I never realized that. And, it's basically I don't want to hog up the Wi-Fi because I do live at home. And so it's basically, as long as I'm able to do the talk show, that's pretty much easy said and done. And I can always do the other video stuff on the side.
Yeah.
But with that being said, so the first question I was going to ask you is who influenced you to start your career, and how many years have you been doing your career?
Well, I recently left my career as a TV news reporter, but I was a TV news reporter for over 10 years, and I pretty much grew up in the TV news business. My father was a reporter as well, and so I grew up in newsrooms. My dad, for about 20 years, was a consumer reporter out here in Los Angeles. And before that, he was a reporter in Miami, which is where I was born. Did he influence me to get into the business? No, but I think I just naturally had that bug in me, that desire to learn more about people, to tell stories. I've always just been a curious person. As soon as my family got a camcorder, I went around and, got video and documented things. When Hurricane Andrew hit Miami, I documented that. Before we got our camcorder, I used to distribute a house newspaper every week. I just kind of naturally had that little journalistic bug. And before I got into journalism, I studied musical theater, and that's always something that I've continued to be passionate about. Passionate about acting and film and doing voiceovers and accents and characters. And so when I left the news business, I decided to pursue acting, or at least attempt to. And so that's why I'm out here in LA now.
No, absolutely. Now, the next question I was going to ask you was, when you went to college, were you a study nerd, a party animal, and did you ever do any sports?
I think I got my partying out of my system my senior year of high school. That was, I think, my big party year. So I had a little bit of partying my freshman year of college, but for the most part, I was very focused because I studied broadcast journalism the entire time that I was in college, and I never switched majors, and I was really passionate about it. And, I was always a pretty good student. I was a gifted student, an honor student, that sort of thing, and had a scholarship, etc. And what was the rest of the question? I do have a little ADD.
Don't worry about it. Do I know? No, a couple of minutes ago it did lock up, but I don't know if it froze on your side. But yeah, nothing you didn't notice.
I know you asked about the partying and about being a good student. What else did you ask about?
Oh, no, I was gonna say, were you a party animal, study nerd, and did you ever do any sports?
Oh, sports. So in elementary school, I was actually incredibly athletic. I was the fastest runner. I was the only girl on a basketball team. I played tennis. I did all that stuff. I was really tan. I didn't look like a vampire like I do now. But then when I went to high school, I went